Hello, we are Sydney, Arvid, Owen, Diego, and Jacob, and this is Reinventors of Sorry. We'll start by looking at our login and instructions page and see how a user accesses our website. Once we go to the website, the user can select how to play, where they will read instructions of how to play the game, and from there they can go back home. We will first show invalid login, which means skipping a row. So we'll just play with one person sitting at green and it bounces us back. And so now we can enter all four. We could enter just two. The key is not skipping a row between entries. So we entered valid 4, and so now it brings us to the game board, which we will discuss in more detail now. So we're just going to show a random snippet of gameplay to show the 4-player functionality. So on the board, there's two buttons primarily, a done button and a draw a card button. So on a user's turn, they will select draw a card, and the card will show up on the right, and the user can click on the pawn they want to move and the tile they want to move it to. Once their turn is done, or it is calculated that they have no available turns, the done button will automatically turn red and be enabled, and they will have to click that to officially end their turn before the next player can go. And we can see up at the top it says player turn blue, and how the game works is it calculates the number of tiles you have to move and it won't let you click on any other ones. So we will now move into the individual card rules. So we are going to show these with just 2 players just to make it simple. So here is card 1. We see on this first card that green draws a 1, so they're going to try to move 2 spaces out, but didn't work, and so they had to move just 1 space out. Card 2 is similar, but they get a second draw. So green draws 2, and they will move their pawn out of the start gates, and then they will draw again, and they will be able to move 1 space, and that's pretty simple, so they're just going to move and then click done. Card 3, again, is just 3 spaces forward, but in this case, we see that yellow has 3, and they're going to move this pawn 3 places, which lands them on a slide, but it's their own color, so it doesn't work for them. Card 4 is moving backwards, so we want to make sure that the frontward motion is disabled and that a card can only move backwards. So green draws a 4, and they see that they can go backwards, but we're going to show that going forward doesn't work. So there, they successfully move 4 backwards. Card 5, another simple one, just 5 spaces forward. So we see yellow draw that. In this case, yellow is going to perfectly land in home on that, so that is great. Card 7 is when they can split their movement between 2 pawns. So in this first one, we see that yellow moves 5 spaces to get to the slide, and we see that that works, and then they move 2 more spaces to complete the 7. Card 8, another simple one, it should be 8 straight forward, and so we see that green gets this, so they are going to move 8 forward. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and that is their turn. Card 10 has 2 options, so we will show both. First, we are going to show them moving 10 spaces forward, and then we will show them moving backwards. So yellow drew the 10, so they are going to move 10 spaces forward, and we'll see how that works here. Just as expected, and now we will show what happens when they choose to move backwards. So again, yellow has it, and we are going to use this pawn here, and we're going to land on the green, and as we can see, the green was sent back home and the yellow took its place. Card 11, so this is the choice to move 11 spaces or switch with an opponent's pawn, so we will show both. So the green drew an 11, so they are going to switch pawns here, and as we can see, they took each other's locations. We will now show what happens when they choose to just move 11 forward. It's behavior as expected, but they are just going to move up 11 spaces, and it's checking to make sure that they truly are clicking 11, otherwise it wouldn't work. Card 12, just 12 spaces forward, another simple one. Yellow draws the 12, so we are going to watch them move 12 spaces. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and now they will move into the safe zone. As you can see, 10 didn't work when they clicked on it. And now we will talk about the sorry card. So there's a couple cases we'll show here as well. The first one is the normal case. So green draws a sorry. They select one of their pawns in the start, and they are able to click. We are going to demonstrate that it doesn't work when they click a pawn in the home or in the safe zone, but when they click their pawn in the start, and then they click a valid pawn on the board, it does in fact switch and bring that one back into the start for them. So now we see that yellow drew sorry, but they don't have any in the start position, so you can see their red done button is enabled because they don't have any valid moves. And finally, we will show winning a game. So here we can see that green has 3 in the home. They draw a card 7, which is basically a customizable card. So we're just going to show that they can't move backwards, and then when they move 2 spaces forward, we get a game over message, green wins, and the options to have a new game or return back to the menu. Thank you!